All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to your Monday edition of the afternoon show. It is January the 27th, 2025. What a great weekend it was for some teams. For some, not so much. We got a lot to recap, of course, both the championship games, AFC, NFC. We know who's going to be in the Super Bowl come February. It's going to be a great matchup. If you blinked, you missed it for one of the games, and we'll get into that in just a moment. But we also got some other news, football news, talking some Jerry Jones. That's going to be fun. A little bit of baseball, too. A little bit of baseball news with Mark Burley having a statue dedicated to him out there in Southside with the White Sox, which I think is very well earned, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But not just myself today. As you see, we got the full panel. First off, Mr. Foxborough, Frankie C. Frankie, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, guys? What a beautiful Monday. I absolutely love it. There's no better Monday than when you start off a show and you see Jay upset.
Hey, and Frankie, you've already got about 90% of your coaching staff filled, I think, before the season's even over. So y'all are rolling over there in Patriot League,
man. We're doing
you're everyone.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm really excited about the Doug Marrone being a coach there. You know, he's a really good offensive line coach. So I'm expecting some good offensive lines. Thoughts and theories going to Mike Vrabel from Doug Marrone coming drafting free agency.
And I feel like once you get the roster built, get the draft some, then you can really start to see how that's going to fit. But of course, we got the dynamic duo of Tony and Chris Gonzalez. What's going on, guys?
Not a whole lot.
I'm doing good.
And
pretty good weekend of football. First game wasn't great, but second game was a real good game.
Great game.
And, of course, you see the man fidgeting his freshly painted nails, Jay McLovin. Jay, did you watch some Don Wrinkles over the weekend?
No.
If you saw it on Friday, you know. But how was your weekend, Jay?
Yeah. It was interesting.
Yeah?
It was interesting, I'll tell you that. I
bet so.
have a newfound hatred for Eagles fans. I know, like I was telling you earlier, that people say that the Cowboys fans are the most obnoxious. Well, that is not true. I will tell you that as much as I'm sitting
Wait
here.
a minute. What he was saying before the show, Frankie, that he was an Eagles fan now?
He bleeds green. He went to the Eagles party. He bleeds green. Hey!
Oh, they don't. Are you kicking him out, Jay?
Okay, now let's get this show going, Logan. I had to get rid of that.
No.
Hey, we're not gonna do this shit. This ain't ASAP.
No, we're not gonna do that.
This is not ASAP. Did you just being nice?
Okay. Gee, I'm trying to use the chairs
a moment of relaxation with Logan for a minute because y'all just
I don't know if I want to.
Oh, they just drunk a nice glass of Haterade this morning, and apparently Jay McLovin is the target. Let's go. The warm is fucking warm over here. Let's go.
Heck, what was about a year ago? Jay kicked me off the network. And everything. Blocked me. I couldn't even get on the damn. I couldn't watch the show.
Yeah, he couldn't watch the shows no more.
he blocked me and everything.
Oh my God.
See, that's how you know that Tony now tells Gonzo everything he wants to say to me.
All right, let's get into it. We've teased it. Now let's talk about it.
Yes, let's get into it.
Let's go and rip that Band-Aid off for Jay. NFC Championship game. God, it wasn't even close. Jay, you have our predictions for this game, correct?
Yeah, let me break out my.
Let's pull it out. Let's look at the tape.
This weekend.
Well, we only had 2 games to go off of, so we either went 500, and I don't think any of us batted 1,000.
No. I don't think either one of us. Oh, I got it right here. All right.
Okay.
So Logan, he had Philly and Buffalo being in there. Jay had Washington and the Bills. Clearly, that was not going to happen. Frankie had the Eagles and the Bills. And Gonzo had Washington and the Bills. And Tony just basically replicated him and said Washington and the Bills.
No one picked the Chiefs.
So nobody had to pick the Chiefs.
Because none of us wanted the Chiefs. We was trying to.
Oh, you're right. We were trying. I think
we were trying to reverse the fortune on that, and unfortunately, it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure we'll get that Bills game here in a minute. I know you said Washington, so there you go.
Yeah, we'll get into it, but let's just talk about this Philly smackdown against the Commanders. I mean, they just beat them every way possible: passing game, running game, hell, defense, turnovers. I mean, it wasn't fair. it felt like a big brother beating up a little brother. Jay, you were at a party, so you got the live reaction for the fans. So let's just go with you, man. Your ears still ringing from all the chants they had after the 7 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, and 6 of them, 3 and 3 was between
Saquon
and Saquon. So each one of them had 3 apiece. So, I felt like, when I watched that game, it's like the Eagles came out, or I should say Washington came out. They started a pretty decent drive, and then it kind of stalled out on them, towards about the 30-yard line or something of that nature, and they wound up kicking the field goal. But I was like, you know what? They put on some positive points. They at least in a positive direction. They didn't walk away with 0. At least they had a little bit of continuity there on their offense, pushing the ball up. But then the Eagles came back, and I said, okay, here's where the rubber meets the road. And I said they got to contain fucking Saquon. And then Saquon, the first drive, 15 seconds long, takes it to the house, and I knew right then and there. I was like, okay, they slapped him in the face. Now let's see how Washington comes out and responds. Now Washington still kind of, in my opinion, was a little flat. They weren't really clicking on all their cylinders, but they were kind of producing a little bit. They weren't completely in the doghouse at that point. As a matter of fact, I think the turning point for that game, if you noticed, it was only down by 1 score when that altercation between Lattimore and AJ Brown took place. And I got to be honest with you, I was a little pissed off. I thought they gave the penalty to the Commanders, but in terms of unsportsmanlike conduct. But in all honesty, the guy, AJ Brown ripped off Lattimore's helmet. I'm sorry, bro. Look, that should have been an offset in penalties. That should not have been against. That should have offset. Both of them were unsportsmanlike. Both of them should have offset. It was just but I really think that instant right there between him and Brown really just put the Commanders in a very bad situation in terms of their psyche. Like, they were just pissed off. They were angry. They weren't playing good football. You saw them, I think, on the sidelines several times hit the Eagles player going as he was already out of bounds. Just stupid penalties. But I think a lot of it was emotionally charged off that one incident in the end zone. And I just don't think that Dan Quinn was able to corral his team and get them focused back on the game. It just never happened for him.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I felt like Jaden Daniels still showed to me that this guy can operate on the biggest of stages. He can. He maintained himself. It was just everybody else around him that was kind of sabotaging a little bit, right? And there was that Luvu. Luvu had a couple of timing rushes.
We learned a new rule, by the way. We learned the new rule in the rule book with that. And he's like, you know what? Screw it. We can just give you points. I'd never heard that before. Apparently it's been there for forever, apparently. But I mean, hell, it just seems like sometimes in the playoffs, these rules just come out of thin air.
Right. That's the stupidest rule I've ever heard of.
It's like, all right, hey, quit that, or else we're going to give them points. Look, Chris, Tony, what did y'all think of this game? I thought it was going to be tighter, honestly. 55-23, not close at all when you look at, like Jay said, a lot of pivotal moments, and it seemed like Philly just capitalized on every single one of them.
And I really just think the wheels completely fell off in that fourth quarter. That fourth quarter, it was 21 points in favor of Philly to 0 for Washington. Everything just fell apart in that fourth. I mean, it was already kind of starting in the third.
But
right? At least in the third quarter, the Commanders outscored them 8-7. But when that fourth quarter came around, it was just done.
Domination. No doubt. Chris, Tony, what was your thoughts on the game?
It was just the turnovers mainly. I mean, if them 3 turnovers don't happen, it might be a different game. I think that was the biggest thing. Philadelphia's got a good team. Their offensive, defensive lines. I mean, Washington's getting there. They're just not quite there yet.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't get to watch much of the game, so we was at a wrestling show live yesterday during that game, but we got to listen to most of the second half on the way home. And Washington actually got back in the game. Looked like they were going to maybe make a run there, and then another turnover, and then, like you said, in the fourth quarter, the wheels just fell off. But you got to quit turning the ball over. I mean, that was the difference in that game. You don't turn the ball over, they have a chance. That's a lot closer game, I believe. But I agree with Jay. It wasn't like Jaden Daniels went out there and just shit the bed and looked like he was overwhelmed. I thought he played a pretty decent game. So I mean, and nobody expected Washington to be where they got. I mean, at the beginning of the year, if you said Washington was going to be in the NFC Championship
I would
game,
have said
people
you're
would
out of your mind.
yeah, people would have laughed at you like you don't know what you're talking about. So they're a little ahead of schedule. It'd be interesting to see what pieces they add to try to strengthen that defense up a little bit next year, and they can be scary.
Yeah. So we got some comments here. Dustin saying realistically the wheels fell off after the fumbled punt. That flipped the score from 2012 to 27-12. Yeah, that was a big moment. Let's see. The only whistle that's going to be blown in the seats for the Chiefs. We'll talk about the Chiefs game in a minute, Glenn. Hold on there. I mean, just my impressions of the game. I thought that, God, with every touchdown, the New York Giants front office just felt like a punch in the gut from Saquon. And it has been pretty much all season long, but my God, this felt like it was just kind of the stamp right there. Obviously, if he does in the Super Bowl, that's the big one. But, man, I mean, this proves, you are the best team in the NFC. So that hurt. But, man, he's looked great all year. He was working out on the sideline. It was early in the game, and he was on the elliptical bike. And I was like, is he okay? Like, is everything good? But he was just making sure everything was, nice and finely tuned. So I'm glad that Saquon wasn't hurt or banged up. But for me, I thought the obviously beside the tremendous running game where they got nearly 230 yards and 7 touchdowns, I thought the passing game really improved this week for Philly compared to really just the entire playoffs so far. Jalen Hurts had a great performance. He went 28 of 28. Very efficient, 246, 1 touchdown, no picks. Was only sacked twice in the game. That's against a very good Washington defense.
He played the best game he played in a long time.
He did. And coming into this game, we all thought that Daniels would outperform him. And, I mean, he did slightly just a couple more yards. But Hurts was very efficient. I thought this was maybe one of his best games of his career. And when it matters most, and also – the receivers for Philadelphia stepped up this week. A.J. Brown had a big performance. Dallas Goedert, their tight end, he should have. Devontae Smith had a couple of nice catches. So, I mean, they're clicking on all cylinders. And we know their defense did what they always do. They got picks. They got a bunch of sacks, 3 on the day, patted down a bunch of balls as well. So, I mean, they just look sharp on all arounds, right? Special teams, too, with their kicking game. I mean, they looked locked in. I know that Elliott missed 1 field goal, but hell, when he knocked 7 extra points through the uprights, I'll take it. Go ahead.
They look pretty sharp for having a coach everybody thinks is an idiot.
No, yeah, for real. Sirianni's definitely kind of, I would think.
ESPN has buried that dude all year, dude. They buried him all year on the bottom of their screen all year. That he's just a stupid, he doesn't know what he's doing. Guy ever, and this is his second time getting his team to the Super Bowl in what, 4 years?
Something like that, yeah.
4 years
on McAfee.
Oh yeah, the press conference on McAfee. That's also.
That's how you shut him up, though, Gonzo. You just win. You win. You shut him up.
And this is what Dustin said.
And then you make them look like idiots.
Yeah. Washington had the ball 10 minutes and ran 21 plays. You know what they kind of looked like? Like Notre Dame in that first possession they had in the national championship, where there was that long drive. But at least Notre Dame got a touchdown. They only got a field goal out of it. And then Philly had, as we know, that one play, 70-some-odd yard touchdown from Saquon. I looked away for half a second to make my sandwich, and I came back and they're up on the board. I'm like, what happened here? We just started. But that was just kind of a precursor for everything. So congrats to the Eagles going on 14-3 on the season, 8-1 at home at the Link. And they dominate their NFC East division rivals in the Commanders. Washington, hey, hell of a season. None of us here, none of us anywhere, hell, even though if in DC thought that you would make it this far. So a great year all around. And my God, what potential they got. Best believe they're going to be getting free agents. They're going to be getting calls on draft day for maybe guys who maybe didn't want to go there before the season. So it's looking good out there in Washington. They have a really good team, and credit to the new ownership and everything for getting really just the culture turned around instead of them being just proverbial losers for how many years now to then make it to the NFC Championship game. So glad on them.
And that's another guy. Last year when Washington almost said the other name, but when Washington decided to hire Dan Quinn, there was a lot of people that was real critical of that hire, that they didn't go after one of these young offensive minds. They went after an old guy and all this, and look why he's done with that team.
What was I remember one of the big names last year was Bobby Slowick, right, out of Houston, and we saw he don't have a job anymore. So that just kind of shows that sometimes it's best to wait and go for the young guys, go with an experienced vet like Dan Quinn, who's had a really good tenure as head coach across multiple franchises, and he's helped turn this team around, no doubt about that. All right, we got to rip this Band-Aid off, boys. AFC Championship. Fourth meeting between these teams.
Well, let's see here, Logan. Looks like Josh Allen is now 0-4 against Patrick Mahomes. And Stephen A. said it. I guess he said it the best that he's not Patrick Mahomes, and he can't be Patrick Mahomes.
We have a very divisive tier list, right? So in the AFC, obviously it's Mahomes, and then you can lump in Lamar Jackson. He's got MVPs. Then you got to put, I think, Josh Allen, because he doesn't have any hardware right now.
Right.
Maybe Joe Burrow. I mean, because Burrow beat.
Let me ask you guys a question. I'm gonna kind of go more towards the older side, right? And Tony and me and kind of up in there somewhere. My thing is this, when I remember back when Jim Kelly was there, and it was old school Buffalo Bills, and they were, going against the Niners and the Cowboys, trying, 4 straight Super Bowls, could never get it done. I feel like the Bills are in this time warp that they just can't get out of. They're always good enough to get there. They're just not good enough to win. And it's been their mantra all the way back to the early 90s. It maybe even not sooner than that. I mean, Tony, are you seeing this now where Josh Allen has X number of playoffs, whatevers, but just can't get to the Super Bowl? I mean, and then Jim Kelly gets there, but yet still can't get the big one?
It's true. I mean, it does kind of coincide
to a
certain degree.
The numbers don't lie.
It's like they just had this curse in Buffalo that they just cannot get rid of, man.
But that's the thing, though, Jay. The annoying part is that back in the 90s, at least they made it to the Super Bowl. This team can't even get it there.
No, but and that's a crazy thing because I really do. I feel like if you took Buffalo out of the AFC, transferred them to the NFC, that they might have a better shot at. I think he would have made it to the Super Bowl, honestly, because some of those Buffalo Bills teams have been really freaking good.
Mm-hmm.
And they just haven't. I think Josh Holmes, you know what this is? It's almost like, Karl Malone could never get past Jordan. I don't care how many times he went to the playoffs. He could never get past Jordan. And it's like Josh Allen, no matter how many times he gets to the playoffs, just can't get past Mahomes. But he's not by himself. No, sir, he's not. Because there's Lamar Jackson that's in the same boat as he's in.
Mm-hmm. That's why I put Lamar ahead of Josh now, because Lamar's got awards. He's got MVPs. He might be getting his third one here soon. He's a finalist, but I mean, damn, they can't do it. They can't do it. It's official. We've said it for how many? Was this their 4th or 5th time in the Super Bowl now?
Right.
And Mahomes has been under center for 7 seasons, and in 7 years, they've either made the championship game or got to the Super Bowl. I hate it. I hate it so much. Dustin saying it's inevitable as long as Mahomes and Reed are together. They'll be in the AFC title game of the Super Bowl. He also follows up by saying, the scary part is Rashee Rice, Pacheco, and Brown missed most of the season. And imagine if they were just healthy all season, would they have gone undefeated? Could they do it next year if they all come back?
Well, and the crazy thing about that, too, was seemed like it wasn't just that. There was also other injuries that are out there that weren't. I mean, it was just – that whole thing was just nuts, honestly. Mm-hmm. The way this Chiefs organization has, could you imagine? I mean, what was it? DeAndre Hopkins had he was barely even visible in that game. I think he had maybe one catch for 11 yards.
Something like that, yeah.
But, it really, and all craziness, Smith-Schuster made a return to greatness.
Where did he come from?
These damn balls.
I forgot he was even on the team.
Yeah, where did Schuster come from? It was crazy. It blew my mind almost in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's just a tough loss, right? And we'll talk about
Logan. Where was the one? Where did Buffalo? Where did they screw the pooch the most? What part of the game did they screw the pooch the most? Anybody can answer that. Do y'all know where they screwed the pooch the most?
What do you think it was, Jay? Was it penalties?
I'm really just focusing on that last drive because they had the chance to win it if they just could have got to the end zone. Where in that last drive did they screw the pooch? It's real obvious.
I'll let you tell us, Professor.
The one thing that they didn't do in the last drive that clearly was working for them the entire damn game was putting the ball in James Cook's hands. That last drive, he never touched the ball once. And this is a guy that was getting well over 130, 140 total yards from scrimmage, and you don't put the rock in his hand one damn time?
So I'm gonna
Hey, I mean, I get your point there, but I don't think that's what cost them the game. What cost them the game? Where they screwed up, cost them the game is their defense couldn't get a stop. Their defense couldn't get a stop at all.
No, I understand all that, and that's. I'm not saying that James Cook was the only part, but you got to admit that last drive, you don't put the rock in his hands, not even one damn time.
No, I get what you're saying, but also they had the rock. But also they had the rock in what they believe is their best player, Josh Allen's hand, instead of Cook's. Now, if they were taking the ball out of Cook's hand and having it in Matt Collins' hand and letting him try to run everything, I would understand that. But they had the ball in their best player's hand trying to make a play. And hell, they were a ball going off Kincaid's arms. We might be talking totally different.
Kincaid should have caught that ball. I mean, that ball was right there. I mean, I know.
Out of four plays, you don't put the rock in his hand one time.
So let me go through the drive here. That way we can elaborate for the fans. So it was a 6-play down, or it took 6 plays. They had the ball with about 3.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, right? So Ty Johnson, he tries to run the ball in that one, -1 yards. All right. It's 2nd and 11. Josh Allen scrambles to the right. He gets 13. He gives you the first down. Okay, you're cooking here, right? 1st and 10. Buffalo's at the 42-yard line. Incomplete deep pass to Khalil Shakir. Then we have another incomplete short pass to Curtis Samuel. So that's 2nd and 10. Going on 3rd and 10 now. Josh Allen pass short to right to Amari Cooper. Gets a 5-yard gain. So then at that point, it's 4th and 5. Then the 2-minute warning hits. And then we see that incomplete pass there to Kincaid where it went through his hands in a diving effort. Man, we've seen a lot of crucial drops in these games, haven't we? It seems like more so it's obviously amplified and you can see more of it, but I don't feel like we really talk about a whole lot about big key drops, especially in very clutch moments like this. Yeah, early in the game is one thing, but I mean, in the fourth quarter, we haven't talked about this a whole lot here in recent years. I feel like
that was a hell of a throw by Allen just to give him a chance.
It was.
I feel like, when it was 2nd and 10, they should have put that rock at least one time in first hands.
I was getting ready to say on that drive, the only play you could maybe ran the ball would have been on that 1st and 10, but when you went for that deep ball on 1st and 10, on 2nd and 10.
Yeah, when you go to secure and you miss it, then you kind of.
I can go with that, guy.
Because now you're behind the chain some.
I totally get that, Gonzo. If you want to put Cook at 1st and 10 versus 2nd and 10, I'm good with that, dude. I'm just thinking one of those two, either the first down or the second down, he should have been at least had the rock one damn time.
Yeah.
And then it gives you. If he doesn't get on the 2nd and 10, then it gives you the 3rd and 10 and 4th and 10 to still pick up the other additional 5 to 6 yards, wherever it was.
So Dustin was thinking the issue was the drive before the one we spoke about there.
That
one was
when Kincaid caught that pass at the end, that would have been, or if he'd have caught that pass they dropped, that was going to be a first down by a lot.
That would have been a first and I don't know.
Yeah, they would have a first down by like 10 yards, Dustin. I think you're thinking of a different play, but.
And then we saw that obviously Casey got the ball back. There's still 1 minute and 54 left on the clock, so there was still a little bit of hope, right? You could maybe, I don't know how many
they had him to 39 and could have gone. I don't know what the hell just happened. But.
I don't know either. We're good though. What were you saying though, Chris?
On that third, or like you just said, they could have got the ball back with about a little over a minute left. They could have stopped Kansas City on that 3rd and 9 play, and they gave up a first down, and that was ball game. So their defense couldn't make a stop in that second half for nothing.
Yeah, I just feel like it was. If you look at that game, tough. James Cook was averaging 6.5 yards a carry. And like you said, guys, you don't put that rock in his hand, at least 1 down or 2 down. I mean, what? That's just think that some of that play calling towards the end, from my opinion, just kind of hurt them a little bit.
All right, let's talk more about this here. And also I found this stat too, just kind of looking around. So most playoff wins ever by a quarterback. Number 1, Tom Brady with 35. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes with 17. He's only been in the league 7 years. that's scary.
Yeah,
that's
scary.
But
I like how they got pissed off at Shannon Sharp when Shannon Sharp was comparing Jordan to Patrick Mahomes or Mahomes to Jordan, and Stephen A. and them were basically just kind of ripping him on that a little bit. But in all honesty, he is kind of becoming. I don't know if he is.
I mean, if you think about it, though, I mean, and we're talking like, obviously peak Jordan. Now, he's already in his peak in his first couple of years, right? It wasn't like whenever Jordan first got to Chicago and they were rough for a couple of years, right? But then he got better. Hell, for him, it's just been automatically going to a championship game or a Super Bowl or winning, He hasn't had a bad season yet. He hasn't had a season he didn't make the playoffs. He doesn't know what adversity is in the NFL. He doesn't have to deal with it. And if he retired today, he'd be a first-ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, it's already said and done. So that's already impressive enough. But we haven't talked about it yet. We'll talk about it here. Obviously, officiating was a big factor in this ball game. A lot of people were already saying it was rigged. The Chiefs already filled out the ends of their storybook this year. Was it Taylor Swift in the suites that was pulling the strings? Chris, Tony, what conspiracy theories do you have?
I don't have any. I thought there was close calls. I
thought the Bills had. I thought he had the first down.
I did too.
But once they ruled,
everyone
on the field,
did.
Once they ruled on the field that it wasn't a first down, there's no way you could reverse it because you couldn't have a real good view of the ball. So I knew it wasn't going to get reversed. I actually thought the play before that, where Kincaid had caught the pass and dove, I thought he had the first down on that one. I thought that was a worse spot than the other one was. But I don't think the refs cost the Bills that game at all.
I don't either.
I mean, you can look at a couple calls in the first half that could have been made for the Chiefs that wasn't. So I don't think the refs cost them that game. It's just the Chiefs made a couple more plays than the Bills did, and that's what the Chiefs tend to do over the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and Jay, what did you think about the officiating? Obviously, the big play that everyone talks about is that 4th and 1, where I think we're pretty much all in agreement that it looked like it was going to be a first down. I mean, his shoulder and his elbow were past the first down line, which you typically would think the ball is there too. But the ref saw something else.
What made it look bad is you had the ref that was on the side where the ball was. He marked it as a first down, and you had the other judge come up and was marking it short.
You know what I think we need?
And they went with that one. So that was what made it look bad because the refs were on different angles.
You know what? Something I had seen on social media, and it's kind of interesting. But for replay technology, I mean, the NFL feels like they're still behind all the time. They have the chains, for God's sake, which we've seen. Those are not accurate. They're not always the most accurate.
Dustin did. I just put a picture in the group chat that Dustin said you can kind of look at it and make the determination of whether the ball was.
The ball would have been short of where they were putting them. Because I was going to address that. The ball would have been short of where the TV was showing that the field goal, where they needed to get for a field goal was, but the pass was 15 yards behind the first down marker. He catch that ball, it's a first down by 15 yards. They only had to gain 5. But I just watched it.
Oh yeah, I see here.
The line that he would have been short of is the field goal line, where they were saying they need to get to for a field goal, not the first down marker. That's asking about a different play.
That's at the 40-yard line, correct? That's where he had to get to the 40.
Right around there, yeah.
Correct.
It was 4th and 5.
I mean,
it was 4th and 5.
That pass was
4th and 5.
Yeah.
But look, my whole thing is that you don't put the game in the judges or the refs' hands. You don't do that in any sport. You don't do it in boxing. You don't do it in MMA. You don't do it in football. You don't do it in basketball. Because if you do, that's an easy scapegoat. Let's not look at the interceptions or the quick drives or anything like that. No, let's look at the refs for that's the main reason of loss, right? No.
Let me ask you.
There was a lot of conversations with the ref and those players, though.
Let me ask you a question.
Conversations they were having.
Jay brought up about the fact. Let's go back to that play.
About the 35.
Let's talk about the play where they ran the football and it was not called a first down. Should maybe Cook ran that ball because he was averaging 6 yards per carry. I mean, it's easy.
No, I get what you're saying, but I guess
it's easy to second guess.
they were just trying to get bodies, right? That's what they were trying to do. They were trying to just get bodies to push you over.
Yep.
Which, I mean, you can do that with the with a running back, but I feel like, I don't know, it's just easier with a quarterback in the sense because you can have the halfback behind him, obviously throwing him up, as opposed to, maybe it was just being the speed of Cook or whatnot. But no, I mean, there's so many other factors that were in this ball game. Just a quick question, I guess we'll move on to a different sport, but Sean McDermott, is he in the hot seat? Do you keep him? Is he still the coach of the future for you, or you kind of starting to draw some blanks in your head after these tough losses for his whole career? Jay, we'll go with you first.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to cut ways with Sean McDermott because, on all honesty, is there anybody else out there that's better than him that they can tap into? I mean, you could probably get rid of it, maybe take a chance on a Bobby Slowick or a fresh coordinator that's looking for a head coaching spot. But in all reality of it is, those are just hopes. You haven't really seen the fruits. You've seen the hopes. With Sean McDermott, at least you can get to the damn conference championship game. Now, they still got to figure out how to get past it, but that's a whole other issue. That could be a coordinator. Maybe they don't have the right coordinator. If you don't believe in Joe Brady or such, whatnot, you could look at that direction. But in terms of a head coach, I don't think they're going to get anything better than what they currently have, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Tony and Chris, your thoughts?
I think they'd be crazy to get rid of him. That's my opinion. I think they'd be fools.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they get rid of them. I think what they need to do for Buffalo is they got to add some pieces on the defensive side. Yeah, yes, they could use another receiver, like some people are saying. But I think the defense, if you look, the defense is what they got to strengthen up because their offense is scoring close to 30 points a game. But if your defense is giving up 30 points a game, it don't matter. If they can tighten that defense up a little bit, I think they can maybe get over the hump. But I mean, who are you going to get better? Who are you going to get that's proven to be better than McDermott? And right now, everybody's saying he can't beat. People want to fire him because he can't beat the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Who else can beat the Chiefs? Ain't nobody else beating the Chiefs.
Well, the
team facing them in Super Bowl, Mike.
Didn't count.
So Mike said, So Mike says here he thinks it's funny people say Lamar and Josh Allen don't have legit number one receivers. Is the way these games end the way they do, but Mahomes is just making it happen with whoever. I mean, like you said, Jay, they signed Juju Smith-Schuster after he left Kansas City, I think with Pittsburgh, I believe.
Right.
Didn't do anything there. Signed back.
I
forgot he was even there.
It wasn't like people want to say lack of receivers. It wasn't that cost the Bills. It was to me more their defense couldn't get off the field. To keep Mahomes from scoring points.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing too, and also I know we mentioned it beforehand, and it was a factor in this game. The Bills did have some injuries on going into this game, and it proved to be costly. What was the cornerback had went out, and that was already like a backup cornerback they had.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, look, we don't always say, oh, it was injuries, but I feel like in certain cases, I'm not saying this is the reason why they lost the game, but it definitely proved to be a factor.
I think they need to get another pass rusher. I love Von Miller, but Von Miller's not Von Miller no more. He don't play that many snaps anymore.
No,
they need to get it. They need to do something.
He's just tied to that contract,
and like you said, strengthen up the cornerback and area. And I think that they'll be all right. I mean, you have Josh Allen on the offensive side, and James, the way James Cook is running the ball, they're going to be able to score some points. They just have to figure out the defense a little bit. To me.
So Mike here with a stat. So Mike here saying that McDermott is a defensive coach. In his 4 matchups with Mahomes, they've allowed 139 total points. He's not doing his job in the big game. Mahomes has scored 38, 42, 27, and 32 against the Bills in the playoffs. So I mean, these aren't
the biggest of games. That team shrinks, and you're right. McDermott probably does have a little bit with that play. That's what I'm saying. When you look at
I get what he's saying there, but let's go to every other head coach that's played against Mahomes and see how many points Mahomes has scored against them.
I understand.
He does it to everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, he just carves you up.
I think the thing, though, I think what hurt them, though, was that play calling, that offensive play calling at the end of the game. Really, and you can say the last 2 drives, whatever, but in that fourth quarter, they really
the whole quarter
really hurt them.
And I don't think
it's not about having a wide receiver one. I agree with you, Mike.
No.
That was neither one of these 2 games were about not having a wide receiver one. It was a lot on that defensive side in the first game for Washington. That was a big thing for them, and also the lack of emotions, lack of discipline when the game got crazy in the end zone and whatnot. But then the second game, in the Chiefs-Washington game, it was just a little bit of mismanagement in terms of play calling on McDermott in the biggest of moments. I mean, it is what it is. The rock should have been in James Cook's hands. I'm sorry. He should have had a lot more involved in that. And I understand that you got Josh Allen, and Josh Allen needs to do what he is, but at the same time, it needs to be more balanced. And when you got a guy giving you 6.5 yards a carry, put the damn rock in his hand. Shit.
So Dustin responds to Mike here saying that's a good point. Same argument can be made, though, for Shanahan, big games, too. I can attest to that watching that Falcons game. Teams will always have your number, and KC owns the AFC. Frankie chimes back saying it's not about play calling. Play calling is fine, but the players need to catch the ball. That's the thing we've seen, whether it's college.
It's easy to sit here and say it's bad play calling after you see the results, too.
Right.
No, I know it's bad play calling.
Because here's my thing, Jay. Them same plays they called in that fourth quarter, they go down and score a touchdown and win. Nobody's saying that play calling was bad. No, not one person's going to complain about the play calling if they win that game.
Give him a damn rock.
If they win that game, nobody complains about that play calling at all. But since they lost, now it was terrible play calling.
I've been complaining about it for the last 2 days or last day and a half.
You wouldn't been sitting here right now complaining about if the Bills won. You've been saying, "Oh, that was great play call. They went down and they scored a touchdown and beat the Chiefs."
No, I will tell. Really, Gonzo? Really? Are we having a therapy moment? Because I don't do good at psychology. I just know that when the guy was not.
Well, I'm seeing the chat. I guess you give it pretty good massage.
You're right. Hey, when you won't hear me bitch, okay? When you won't hear me bitch. Until then, I'm gonna bitch. Put the damn rock in his hands.
So Jay, I'll segue that and say, yeah, it was a big risk for the Bills in that regard. But you know what else is a big risk? Jerry Jones's thoughts on the new coach for the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, great topic.
Jay, over the weekend, the Dallas Cowboys have announced the new leader, the new head honcho. Really, about fourth in command with Jerry Jones being there, but still, he's the guy on the sidelines with the clipboard.
He landed pretty quick today, too.
His name is Brian Schottenheimer.
Yeah.
Jay, new head coach, buddy. How we feeling? Are the fireworks already put away, or balloons and champagne been popped?
You know how I'm feeling, Logan. You know how I'm feeling. Number one, Eberflus.
I know, but tell the people.
Okay, Dan Quinn really should have been offered that job. I like Dan Quinn. He should. If you're gonna, if the way that Jerry Jones was going, if you're gonna make Schottenheimer your head coach, why didn't you just give it to Dan Quinn? Somebody that has at least a little bit better track record is where I'm going with that point. Like, you had the guy you needed, right? Because he was doing it in Washington. You had the guy you needed, and then you let him walk. You could have got other guys out there. You didn't even bring them in for interviews. You let them walk, only to give Brian Schottenheimer, a guy who's been in the league for 20-something odd years as an assistant. And you have to tell everybody, well, now he's finally a head coach, really? And you had to be the one to do that? You had to be the one to say that? I'm just trying to say, in Cowboy Nation, it's time we rise up. It's time we start boycotting. It's time we start telling Jerry Jones, we had enough of this bullshit. 30 years of freaking frustration dealing with this. Really? This is what we're doing? Jerry, you old bastard.
So this is a direct quote from the incomparable Jerry Jones. If you don't think I can operate outside of my comfort zone, you are so wrong. This, in referring to hiring Schottenheimer, is as big a risk as you can take. No head coaching experience. If I'm a fan, how does that make me feel? Chris, Tony, how would you feel if this was the Colts saying, "Here, we just kind of have this guy here. Here you go. He's a head coach."
I was cracking up when I seen it.
The thing is that left out some of the best parts of the quote as well, as it keeps on going, because he just did it. It's funny, but I wouldn't feel real good about it if that was the donor of the Colts up there endorsing his new head coach that he's hired. But in a way, to me, the Cowboy fans are kind of getting what they asked for. That they all wanted McCarthy out there. Now you're getting Schottenheimer.
What did I? I'm a Cowboy fan. What exactly did I ask for?
You guys, everybody wanted McCarthy out there because he was so bad, and now look what you got.
Yeah, I did. And he
Would
won.
you rather
you
have
want him back?
Schottenheimer than McCarthy?
Yeah. Would you like to have McCartney back now?
Not on any of them.
Oh, you just want to get everyone out of there.
Yeah, that's my point.
No,
That's
but-
my point. We were supposed to go outside of.
No,
the
this is a
damn
serious
organization
question
and
because you're a
bring
Cowboys
somebody
fan.
in.
This is a serious question, though, because you are a Cowboys fan. Would you rather have Schottenheimer than McCarthy?
Well,
Like,
no,
do you think Schottenheimer is going to be an upgrade to McCarthy?
Hey, watch
That's
this.
tough, though.
AJ,
He's in
I got
college.
a pile of poo over here. It's only a little bit smelly. I got a pile of poo over here, and it's really smelly. Which one do you want? Well, okay, I'm going to go the least smelliest route. I mean, come on. Okay. Of course, I would take McCarthy over Schottenheimer. That's a no-brainer. I don't really want either one of the sons of guns, though, and I'm really trying to clean this up for you, Logan.
What about
either one of them?
I think
What about
McCarthy's
Deion?
a good. I think McCarthy's a good football coach, but
I don't think so at all.
Jay, what you
I think he
think?
was good. No, okay, let me retract that. I think he was good for what he was back when he was. I don't think he translates now to that level. I do not.
He's like Jeff Fisher. Let's not forget all the mediocre seasons they had out there. All
Look,
right.
if you want to bring in Brian Zimmer in as your defensive coordinator, okay, you've already lost me.
Mm.
This
So
is the same
hey.
guy. Hold on. This is the same guy that was kicked out of Minnesota because he couldn't get along with his players. His players hated him. And this is what you want to bring me. This is what you think is going to resurrect our Cowboys organization. No.
Hey.
You can bring McCarthy, Zimmer, Schottenheimer, and throw them all out of the way. And let's bring in some fresh meat.
Hey,
you want to
would
go outside your comfort zone, Jerry? Jerry, you want to go outside your comfort zone? Go get Brian Flores. Go get Bobby Slowick. Let's bring them guys in here and see what we can do with them. I guarantee you're going to have better success than the bullshit you've been pandering for the last 30 damn years, with the exception of Wade Phillips. Wade Phillips, I do like you. I thought you were great for the Cowboys. You had great discipline. But outside of him, everybody else can go jump in the lake.
What about?
serious.
Hey!
You
No.
are
Hold
serious.
on. What about Deion? Do you think they should have gotten Deion instead?
You know what? I do, because I think, and that's outside the comfort zone as well, right? Because Deion's not a yes man. So that would have definitely been outside the comfort zone. And I do
don't think
think
Deion was interested.
Deion is a more capable coach than Schottenheimer or McCarthy in today's NFL. He relates to the players. The players like him. They respect him. He doesn't like to lose. He's a competitor. Yeah, I'll take a chance on him. And then let's get some good coordinators. Because I know one thing about Deion. He'll bring in really good coordinators, and then he'll just manage the load.
Frankie's saying that you have a better chance with Mickey Delaney as head coach for the Cowboys.
damn.
That would have been the dumbest hire, even if he was hired as the water boy.
Oh, I can't even get mad at him for
No.
saying that. I can't
So
even
Dustin
get
saying
mad at him.
McCarthy has the 11th most wins in NFL history. He's a great regular season coach, but not a good playoff coach.
Okay, I don't give a fuck about regular season. Pardon my French. Now I'm getting mad. I don't care about regular season. Okay, I care about playoffs. We all care about playoffs, right? Don't we all care about playoffs? That's the thing about the Cowboys. Everybody wants to say, "Well, Jay,
Yeah,
you
but
think
they
you're
also
the first round of the playoffs."
there also used to be the narrative. There also used to be the narrative that Andy Reid wasn't a good playoff coach. There also used to be a narrative that all these other guys weren't good playoff coaches. I mean, you can always go back and say that stuff, but like, is anybody going to say Andy Reid's not a good playoff coach?
Not
Or
anymore.
just a few years ago when he remember when he was with the Eagles? Oh, he can't win the big game. They can't win the big game. They can't win the big game. Now he's with the Chiefs. He has the best quarterback that's ever played the game. And look
That's
where
what I
he's
was gonna say. I think with the Chiefs organization, that's a little bit twofold, right? I think it's 50%. You're right. That Reid is a good play caller. He does do certain things really well, as you saw out in Philly before he came there. And I also think the other 50% of their success is definitely Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you've got two guys coming together.
Well, I
that are
mean,
really good for each other.
I mean, it's like, I mean, you can always compare, but Belichick and Brady, they fed off each other. You know, Belichick set the plays up. Brady went to work.
Because when Brady left, he looked like complete and total doo-doo.
Well, that was with a depleted roster, though.
And really, honestly, I think Josh McDaniels made Belichick look better than what Belichick was.
Oh, no, you're crazy.
You're
crazy.
You don't think so? He ain't never won.
We need to wait for
Josh,
Frankie to get back.
Josh McDaniels can't lift Bill Belichick's left nut.
Well,
come on now.
Hey,
hold on. I'm going to ask Gonzo a question. That's a pretty big.
We're really going to compare Josh McDaniels to the greatest coach of all time, and I'm not even I'm not even the New England fan. I hated New England.
Frankie's coming back in 2 minutes. Let's hold off. Let's let simmer, and then we'll bring back. Hold on.
Josh
Wow.
McDaniels.
Hold on, Chris.
Man,
I want you to
the Cowboys
more to
really
do
brought this up.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on a minute. I want you to explain something to me. Now let's look at the factual. Let's take opinions out of it. Let's take our personal thoughts out of it. Let's just look at the facts. What do the facts tell us? When Josh McDaniels and Tom Brady were with the Patriots, they won. When Josh McDaniels left and they brought whoever it was they thought they could bring in to run it, Belichick lost.
What did Josh
When
McDaniels
Tom
do when he left?
Belichick lost.
What did McDaniels do when he left?
I don't want to talk about that.
No,
I don't want to talk about that.
No.
As a Raiders fan, I don't want to talk about
We're
that.
not talking-
It's gotta
we're
count.
talking coordinators. And when you got a coordinator,
still gotta
like Josh McDaniels, he wins. And you take him out, he loses. That is straight.
Okay.
fact. That is not disputable. It's not disputable.
He's a good coordinator, but Belichick had a lot more to do with the Patriots' success than Josh McDaniels
I
did.
agree.
A lot
Hey,
more.
hey,
Not
hey,
even
hey,
close.
I just don't believe that. I hope, man. I don't. I know a lot of people that will tell you they don't. I mean, out in Cleveland, what did he do with Cleveland? What did he do with the Jets? That's right. He left the Jets. He didn't really do much with them. But what did he do with Cleveland? Where was his greatness in Cleveland? I'm waiting for that.
You can say that about all kinds of coaches. There's
You're
multiple
right, we
coaches
can.
that went
But
places,
we
didn't
also
didn't
know that
succeed.
you can't say,
and
look,
moved on.
that's the problem in New England, though. Honestly, that's what makes New England such a murky situation, because there were too many people that contributed to that success, and it had really not a whole lot as you're giving Belichick credit for. You're basically discounting everybody else that
Okay,
made
wait.
the organization.
Okay, you say
you can say that about every coach.
Let me ask you a question. Who runs NFL team? Who runs the program? The head coach, right?
He's
No,
an
no,
overall
wait.
manager. He's an overall manager.
Okay, yeah, he's the overall guy, so he's in charge. Who hires the coordinators? Oh, the head coach.
Who also fires them?
Who has to make sure everybody's doing their job? The head coach. He has the most responsibility out of everybody.
He fired him, but then realized he sucked without him, and he brought him back, and then he won again, and then he left. And now watch it.
He didn't fire him. He didn't fire McDaniels. McDaniels left to go get a head coaching job, and then he brought him back after McDaniels got fired.
Watch this. I got a question. I got a question for you, Gonzo. This is a question, not a statement. Question. So we talk about how great you said specifically that he's overall, right? He brings this in. He's doing all these great things. Well, let me ask you this. If he's so great, how did that Matt Patricia and other old boys experiment work out on the offensive side and the defensive side? How did that work out for them? Was it good?
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody don't bat 1,000%.
Oh, there you go. See? Oh, you know what?
He made a mistake. He hired the wrong coordinator.
You're Mr. Excuse.
But hey, he's a defensive-minded head coach, right? What was his defense? New England's defense, even when they weren't very good, that defense was good, right?
Yeah, Chris, you're like that slippery fish. I can't just I can't quite hold you.
Hey, Jake, can you do that motion one more time?
I think that's why one guy wants a massage.
Yeah, does anybody know who that was?
Tony, you're the reason.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
In the comments, does anybody know who that was asking Jay for a massage?
His name
somebody
was,
that like
name was 13
like Jay
seconds.
Oh God, yeah, I saw that earlier. Oh Lord.
Oh, so you know who he is?
No, I don't know who he is.
You see him in the steam room, or
Oh, what a time, man. Listen, there's a lot going on there. There's a lot to unpack. Yeah, about the Cowboys situation. I'm going to tell you it's like this, man. He's 82. I don't know how much longer that man's going to be on the earth. I hope he lives a long life.
Oh,
but
no.
I hope at some point Steven steps in and takes it.
Ramp it back up.
What's up, Frankie?
What in the shenanigans did you say a couple minutes ago?
Go ahead.
In the hoopla? You said what? Josh McDaniels is what?
Your thoughts?
Reese's Pieces and enjoy this.
I
We're gonna ask every year. But
Tony said that Josh McDaniels couldn't hold Bill Belichick's
Chris
left
said that,
foot.
and I agree.
I said that.
And I agree.
Yeah.
Well, he's talking about what you said about McDaniels, that he had more to do with the New England than Belichick.
I'm saying that a lot of that winning came out of Josh McDaniels' coordinatorship. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God, what the hell?
Oh, it did, Frankie. It did, man. And look, Y'all guys are going to come in with all your personal opinions, but you don't have the factual. I just gave you the factual data, right? Josh McDaniels is not part of the New England organization. Did they win a championship? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, I rest my motherfucking case. Max Stranger. Left.
Okay. Hold on.
I rest my damn case. Look, right now,
okay,
Frankie is going through Google trying to find an answer for my question. He knows he doesn't have it.
I'm actually not looking on Google. I'm confused and I'm mind blown that you're saying some weird, stupid shit.
Brady wasn't there anymore either way.
You said weird stupid shit, but you don't have anything to back up your hypothesis.
Even when McDaniels wasn't on the Patriots, we were still making it to the Super Bowl. We were making it to the playoffs while McDaniels is being a head coach. Not even winning more than 5 games.
Head coach shit. We're not talking about head coach. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about him as a coordinator and his effect on the New England Patriots. Stay in the ballgame.
Hold on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
you're wrong. I'm gonna correct you. You're wrong.
Every head coach before they become a head coach is a coordinator? So at the end of the day,
again, you're trying to make Josh McDaniels a head coach, and he's not a head coach.
At the end of the day, Jay McLovin, at the end of the day, if you're a head coach, you're still running a fucking coordinating scheme that you're doing, right?
Oh, there you go.
A head coach, you're an offensive guy. You're an offensive guy becoming a head coach. So at the end of the day, you know how to run the offensive schemes, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
All right, then you're dumb. Because he's an offensive coach who became a head coach and didn't do shit. Ended up coming back to New England twice because he needed to be on, like Chris and Tony said, Bill Belichick's jockstrap.
Okay, so if you want to say that Bill Belichick is only a good coach when he has good people around him, okay, I'll give you that. If you're going to say he's 100% responsible for their winning, I'll give you that only because he hired good people. If you want to say that about him, okay.
Name me one good coach. Name me one good coach.
Nothing.
Name me one great coach that's won something without good people around him, without good players or good coaches around him. Name me one head coach that's been able to win something without good people around him. You ain't gonna be able to find one.
No,
I understand and that's not an opinion. That's fact.
But no, you can actually find other coordinators that can help you win. Bill Belichick. Look, anytime you put Matt Patricia, who's not even an offensive guy, as your offensive coordinator, you don't tell me that's good. That's the way it should go.
It was a horrible decision.
How did an experiment work out for them?
Not great at all.
How did it work out for them? The only reason Mac Jones even had to the playoffs is because of specifically Josh McDaniels. Specifically.
That I agree on.
Now, if you want to say by proxy,
you can say that. I can't agree on. I can agree on with the Mac Jones. That was behind base with Josh McDaniels. No doubt about it. That was fully Josh McDaniels. But you're not going to sit here and say we won Super Bowls and shit mainly because of Josh McDaniels' play calling. Because at the end of the day, Tom Brady. Listen. He is one of the factors. Because at the end of the day,
hold on, because you're going down the wrong rabbit hole. The rabbit hole we were actually talking about was how good Bill Belichick is, and I'm saying that
I'm on the rabbit hole.
He's only good because the people around him made him look.
No, you're switching it up now, trying to make people confused. No,
that's not true.
What I'm on right now is you specifically. What I'm on right now is you specifically saying that mainly Josh McDaniels' play calling or whatever is the reason why we're champions. Basically, that's what you're trying to say, and it's not. Tom Brady's the motherfucking general. Excuse my language. He was the motherfucking general. Josh McDaniels can make the play calling.
Can you take the same fruit basket?
Josh McDaniels can make the play calling, but you're gonna sit there. Are you gonna sit there and tell me Tom Brady 100% of his snaps came because of Josh McDaniels' play calling? No, he was on the field changing that shit 24/7.
Oh God, this dude.
And Frankie,
I literally threw the nail at you and it bounced off your forehead.
Frankie, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there a few years where the offense, when they won the Super Bowl, where the offense wasn't the thing that was carrying them? It was the defensive side of the ball.
Oh yeah, many times. Also special teams.
You guys are talking about special teams. The reasons how they won, and not one of you had said what Belichick did.
Belichick is a defensive-minded head coach. His defense was always one of the top defenses in the league.
Number one many times because of Bill Belichick.
Come on.
Bill Belichick is a defensive-minded coach, Jay. He's a defensive coordinator before he became a head coach. All he knows is defense. How are you going to sit there and say nobody's
You're
going
right. All he
to say
knows is
Bill
defense.
Belichick
So
don't do
obvious.
anything?
No, right. So he had nothing to do with the offensive side, really, right? That was all Josh McDaniels. Clearly, because Josh McDaniels said they win.
Okay, so Ben Johnson, as the head coach of the Detroit Lions, is going to have everything to do, or as the head coach of the Chicago Bears now, he's going to have everything to do with the defensive side of the ball since he's an offensive head coach. What you're contradicting yourself, Jay.
No, I'm not contradicting anything. I'm making one.
Every head coach is either a defensive coach or an offensive coach.
Look at Bill Belichick as a whole. Let's just stick with him for a minute. What all do you know about Bill Belichick's career? I mean, like, you're going on Josh McDaniels and trying to make your point with other people.
What do I know about Bill Belichick's career? He's won more Super Bowls than anybody else.
He's been to more playoffs than anybody else. He's won more playoff games than anybody else.
I mean,
he's won. He's like what second on the list of regular season wins than anybody else. Where's your coach? Where's Schottenheimer? Where is he on the list, Jay? Where's Schottenheimer on the list? I rest my case. I rest my case.
No, I'm going to say back.
Put your Caleb Williams nails back on the camera.
Hold on, Frankie. Hold on. Sam. I literally thought your drunk ass was the worst Eagle experience I've ever had in my life. But, brother, you are nothing compared to a sober Frankie.
I love it. You see the comment?
Yeah.
Franken.
Troy Delaney.
Belichick.
He said, "What? Oh, Belichick is better than."
You guys don't know Troy Delaney. It's kind of an inside thing, but because that's my nephew.
You know what I like that he said? Hold on, Tony. Can you repeat what you said last week about cheaters?
We didn't even get into all the deflate gates and stuff.
What are you talking about?
You ain't cheating, you ain't competing.
Hey, look, I feel you, I do, but at the same time, y'all the same son of bitches. When the Astros had a trash can, y'all fucking crucified him for that shit. So
I didn't.
No,
I didn't crucify you for it. I just give you shit because I know it pisses you off.
Jay, I told you once that happened, you were gonna live through it for the rest of your life. I still live.
And here we are, 8 years later.
I've been living through it for almost 20 years. Jay, it's been starting since 2007. I've been dealing with this shit.
I got a question for Jay. How would you have felt if Belichick don't go to North Carolina and he was announced as the Dallas Cowboys coach?
Oh, he'll be choking on bananas
let
right
me
now.
see. Schottenheimer, McCarthy, Chan Gailey, yeah, Jason Garrett, Kellen Moore, yeah. If Belichick came here, I would feel okay about it. You know why?
I'm sure.
I would because you know what? I'm not saying Belichick's bad. Don't get it wrong. I'm not saying all that. I do think that if you look at the current candidates that we've had versus Belichick, then yeah, Belichick is better than that.
Jay,
I would tell him, Belichick, though, if you come here, you can no longer do this defensive co-mingled offensive coordinator that you put him. That's not going to happen here.
He's already recruiting them.
Listen, I'm going
to say Josh McDaniels. So that way I got Belichick, I got Josh McDaniels. If you want to put even Eberflus in the defense, well, it's better than Zimmer. So I'll take that.
I'm going to be real.
Eberflus is a pretty good defensive coordinator.
And Josh McDaniels, I would feel ecstatic.
I'm going to be – yo, Jay, listen. Jay, I'm going to be real with you, and I love Bill Belichick. I absolutely love the man with all my heart, okay? But at this time and age right now, I think having Bill Belichick on your squad will be absolutely a disaster. Look at what he did towards the end of his career with the New England Patriots. He literally dug a hole and didn't even give a shit anymore. So I think
I mean, you raised a good point.
I don't think him and Jerry Jones could get along.
Oh no, he wouldn't.
I know.
And that's the reason. And that's the reason why Jerry won't do it because Jerry wants a yes man. Why do you think he went to Schottenheimer?
And I kind of think that's the reason he kind of shut things down in New England the last season or two was because of his relationship with Kraft. I think him and Kraft got into it. And Belichick just said,
"This is what upsets me about the whole thing." You're right. Frankie, he does. He wants a yes man. He wants to be able to have control. Yep. And I'm at the point now where I'm like, yo, Jerry, if this is what you really want, this is who you really are, this is what you want to have all the credit for. Just get rid of the coaches and everything.
Why don't you just go apply for the job, Jay? I'm sure you could be a good yes man.
No, that punch.
Not for him. Well, I mean, and Jay, you said it before.
I would, man. You think if he wasn't yes man, he definitely looked at the wrong tree after Jay McLovin.
No, Jay, you'll agree. One of the worst decisions in franchise history was getting rid of Jimmy Johnson.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That was.
But what was the real reason? Listen, Jay, be honest. What was the real reason why he got rid of Jimmy Johnson? Because Jimmy Johnson was literally Dallas.
Yes, man.
Exactly. He was Dallas Cowboys' last coach to not be a yes man.
They were actually at a party. Jimmy and Jerry were at a party. That's where it all happened. They were at a party. There were some discussions had back and forth between him and Jerry. Jerry felt like Jimmy wasn't giving him his credit, and Jerry felt like the little side bitch when everybody was accolading Jimmy Johnson. And so that was it. Next thing you know, Jimmy's out. Switzer. Oh, yeah, that's right. Weren't we college buddies? Yeah, get your ass over here.
Come on.
Take over for what Jimmy left. And then after that, everybody left. And when everybody left, that's when the Chan Galeys of the world came into play and stuff. And Jason Garrett's and all that. The only one that was good, honestly, was Wade Phillips. I like Wade Phillips. I thought he did great for the franchise. Naturally, to be getting rid of people that are good for the franchise.
I think we'll halt it there. We got a lot off our chest with that one.
I wouldn't say he was.
And guys, breaking NBA news: Mac McClung is returning for the dunk contest, going for the real three-peat we're talking about here today.
Oh,
forget
Lord.
Kansas City. This is the real three-peat, right? No.
Jeez.
And once again, he joins the likes of the following players: Stephon Castle, Matas Buzelis, Andre Jackson Jr. Everyone, all the stars are here, as Norm McDonald would say.
I couldn't even tell you half the teams them dudes are on. They're probably
we need a.
I'm being serious because I'm not trying to be funny here, but when is the All-Star game? When is the dunk contest and stuff? Because I don't even know when it is.
No, honestly, I don't know either. I know it's coming up soon though.
Yeah, let me see.
And Frankie, are you watching the Tiger golf tonight? He's facing off against Rory.
Definitely.
And also, it's going to be on February 15th, Saturday night.
February 15th?
Yep.
Okay.
So about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You said Tiger Woods? We talking about Tiger Woods?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has the TGL. It's on the night, and the Tiger Woods team takes on Rory's team on ESPN.
Yeah.
I think it's 7.
Oh, wow.
It's that golf thing that we were talking about last week with me and Chris. It's like the indoor golf thing.
At 6:30. My bad. 6:30.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I'll definitely be catching that. 6:30 on ESPN?
Yep.
It's legit. I like it. It's way. I would rather watch that than watch actual like PGA and shit.
Yeah, I get it.
They're in a building. They hit the drive on a golf simulator, but then there's actual green. There's actual greens in the building, and they go chip.
It's pretty neat. It's a nice take on golf. It makes it kind of more of like an arcade type feel, which I think attracts newer audiences. You know, maybe kids who are flipping channels and they don't necessarily want to see, the great scenery or whatnot of any of the courses. They're just like, oh, look, it goes here, it plays out here, and it's just a lot more fan interactive.
Yeah, it's for kids like me.
Yeah.
God, would you please stop playing with your pussycat?
What?
Hey,
I don't want to have people in the chat what you get for it.
Jay, I want to get your thought.
What was that?
Oh. I want to get Jay's thought on this real quick because I just have a news that just broke in.
Well,
for ball, it's
always at the worst time.
Man, his internet is horrible, just like his team.
Oh man,
he declined. Always the worst time. Always. I hate this shit.
Okay, what was the question?
Go ahead.
Alex Bregman looking more likely to head back to Houston. Houston is willing to go 6 years at $156 million.
They come crawling back, don't they, Jay?
Or would you be? I can already see it in his face. Like he says, "Yeah," with a smile.
Yeah.
But in his face is like,
well,
Frankie,
here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, right? I mean, look, at the end of the day, is he better than Paredes? Yes. So, yeah, I mean, at that position, if that's all right now that they have on free agency at that position, yeah, I think he's probably the best at that position. So, I mean, he's the Gold Glove winner at that position. So, I would be happy with that. I didn't want to lose Bregman. I like Bregman. The only thing with Bregman, I just ask if you can get me more consistency on the offensive that you do on the defensive side. But No, I absolutely think that that's better for us than having Paredes at that position. In all honesty, the interesting part about that is if we keep Bregman, I think what they're going to wind up doing is putting Paredes at second and asking Altuve to go to the outfield. That's going to be interesting. That's the only thing I'm going to worry about.
Wait, what'd you just say?
I was in the outfield.
Who are you putting in the outfield?
That's what they're talking about.
You have the biggest guy in Judge and the smallest in Altuve roaming the grass out there.
Yeah, trust me, Frankie. When I heard that, that's exactly what I thought too, brother.
Are the Stros going to be any good this year?
Yeah, I do think we're going to be good. I don't think we're going to be bad or anything. I think we still have a good option to win the division again. You know, I don't know that anybody else in our division has upgraded to any kind of level to really challenge us. You know, so I still think we win the division. Now, how far we go in the playoffs, that's another matter. You know, you got the Dodgers buying up everybody and anybody. So I think regardless whoever wins to the World Series, you're not going to be able to beat the Dodgers. They have too much talent. They can talent you for days.
I like what you're doing.
7 damn starters on their rotation for crying out loud.
I like what you're doing. I agree. I think the Dodgers are going to destroy MLB this year. I don't think not one person is going to get hurt. I think everybody's going to stay healthy the whole season. I like what you're doing. I think they're going to raise that championship trophy at the end of the season.
Yeah. See, I think no, we believe really big on reverse cursing here. So
that we do.
I think Ohtani's going to come back and pitch an amazing season at some point.
The scary part about the Dodgers is last year that like almost all their pitchers got hurt and they still won the damn World Series.
All I know is
and they added everybody. What, Tanner Scott's there now, right?
Yeah,
they got every Japanese pitcher that's great over there now. I mean,
their lineup's already stacked. I mean,
and then they got that Korean pitcher, right? Didn't they get that top Korean pitcher as well? And
for one, Jay, they're not Korean; they're Japanese. They're all
Japanese. They brought in a Korean pitcher too, I believe.
No, they brought in everyone.
He's a Japanese.
Sayant Kim.
He's Japanese as well. They're all Japanese, Jay. All I know is I get that, you know, they get to go to the Dodgers and they got all Japanese players and stuff, but goddamn it, we have Donald Trump as president and there's a deportation thing going out right now. Why are they still in our state? Why are they still franchised with the Dodgers?
Hey, that would be the time that Frankie Cruz's comments don't.
Do that
in the afternoon show.
Nah, the hell with this shit, Jay. All this deferred and bullshit, getting all these Japanese players, it ain't right. Deport their ass right back to Japan.
Okay, can we please get that up?
I'm typing. Hold on.
I don't have a lawyer, but I need to do something.
God damn, I'm trying to follow in our president.
There we go.
Don't be putting my government out there.
Right, man. Damn.
So talking about great pitching, let's talk about these White Sox, shall we?
Yeah, let's talk about the White Sox. Anything other than President Trump and deportation.
Wow,
I'm just saying, damn. Like, let's.
So, anyways, Mark Buehrle.
I agree, Frankie. Deport them all.
Like, what the hell?
Hey, Frankie, you do know that 2 members of our panel are, let's just say, the Latino descent. I'm just saying.
We ain't talking about Latinos, Jay. We're talking about Japanese.
It's all right. We don't like Mexicans either, so we'll be all right. Hey, Jay, how'd you like that joke I sent you?
Hey, man, listen. I sent you a meme. I told you I laughed at that. Look, Tony, man. I was telling you, I said, man, you're not going to believe it. I said, for years, nothing. Zip. But within the last 3 or 4 weeks, Tony be memeing the shit out of me. And I do show them to my wife, and she gets a kick out of it too. So, yeah, we're over here laughing. Trust me.
Okay. All right, Mark Buehrle. You might have heard of him. He's getting a statue with the White Sox. How do we feel? Well earned. Chris, Tony, please.
I know my son-in-law will be excited. He's a big White Sox fan, so he'll be excited.
Oh yeah, they'll probably be down there when the statue gets unveiled. I bet.
Probably.
Yeah, and he actually had his number retired, and Burrow basically said, "Look, they can always unretire. They can do a lot of things, but what they can't do is take away the statue." So I think he was definitely happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, he had all those great years with Chicago. Was what there from 2000 to 2011, and I mean, had all those big games for him through a perfect game. Got the World Series and everything, so he was a big factor in their success during those early years. And God, I know the White Sox fans wish they were back there once again because, boy, this team is rough.
By the way, Young Money, Altuve said that he is more than willing to do whatever it takes to help the team.
That's a team player right there.
Yeah, because that's going to help them so big to have Altuve.
Oh, no, trust me. Hey, look, I'm already over here scratching my head, okay? So I get it. But
what part of the outfield are they looking to put him in, right?
Man,
I guess.
With him, I'd probably put him in left where the Crawford boxes are. He doesn't have far to run over there. He probably cover more ground. But and it's got a short porch, so that would probably, I guess, I hate to say that, but it'd probably be better for his size. Well, no, in all honesty, though, I think that was the right thing to do, Logan. I mean, this guy has been on the Hall of Fame ballot for a good while now, and I don't know if he's ever going to make it in, but I know he has said, and obviously, look, he's had the perfect game. He's had a 3.81 ERA for the majority of his career. So depending on what stats you're looking at, WAR, strikeouts, whatever, I don't know if he'll ever get in, but he definitely, I think he should have a statue out there in front of Chicagoland, right?
Yeah. Do they have other statues out there?
Yeah.
I can't remember who, but they do.
I think they have a pretty decent amount.
I've been there once, but it's been a while.
I think Burrow's biggest accomplishment was he finished 5th in the American Cy Young Award voting. Of his 214 career wins, 161 of them came with the White Sox. He had a career of 381, 14 straight seasons of throwing 200 or more innings. So, I mean, he's had a hell of a career. Right?
Yeah. I think well earned, and I know the people in Chicago, if you're a White Sox fan, you love all the time and effort he gave to you. So he'll get a statue, and I think that'll be a nice way to cap off his career. But guys, any other topics you want to talk about today, or if not, we can go and get on out of here.
Oh, I'd like to talk more about Frankie's hairline.
No.
It's just sad. It's just sad that the White Sox have to do this just so they can make money to have fans come in for a statue.
It's bad in Chicago right now.
Oh, it's rough.
Not for the Cubs, not on the north side, not in Wrigley.
Cubs are doing pretty good.
Jay, how do you feel about Presley gone?
Yeah, I really, like I was telling you earlier in the group chat, I think when they brought Josh Hader in, they already had Abreu as a setup guy prior to that. I think it kind of made Presley expendable, and hopefully maybe they can take the remaining amount of that money they owed him and maybe apply that to other things. But, I think the writing was on the wall for Ryan Presley when Josh Hader came in all honesty.
I'm going to ask you a serious question. Well, the real reason was that they can ship him off, and hopefully the Cubs would, bring in some cash consideration to add towards Alex Bregman's contract. But that's not the question I want to ask. The question I really want to ask is, yeah, you're okay with him leaving, but what if it was like a playoff scenario where you go extra innings? You could have had two nice closers in Ryan Presley and Josh Hader.
For sure. And again, if this is the Yankees organization or the Dodgers organization, teams that are used to spending exorbitant amounts of money, then yeah, that would fit in. But that's just not the Astros organization. They just don't spend money like that. So I think that's kind of where it comes from.
You didn't have to spend much money on
started spending money like that with Bregman, the contract he was offered. I think, honestly, when they gave Verlander that $20-something million, whatever, I mean, that was the most amount of money these guys have ever spent. So it's just not, it's not in the Astros operating procedures to give guys those kinds of contracts. And I just think that's kind of more or less where it fell. I don't think they were wanting to go above the $200 million payroll. And I think that would have put them at the $200 million payroll. So that's why I think it's better that they went ahead and let him go. He was, Josh Hader really was more their closer anyway. So it is what it is. Damn, and they do have a lot of good young core pitchers that are in their farm system that could hopefully good relievers. I'm talking about not starting relievers. So
What's nice is when they have 60 days till Cincinnati Reds opening day. 60 days before baseball.
And also, guys, some news regarding the Reds. Ellie De La Cruz will be the cover athlete for the MLB The Show video game. So you guys got some representation out there now. In
the
Cincy.
MLB curse.
The MLB curse. But then again, it's the Reds. Nobody cares.
No,
I'm kidding.
Oh,
hey, Glenn's my boy too, and I know that would hurt Glenn's heart. So Josh has, Gonzo's got a little bit more tougher skin. I don't know.
Glenn's not a true fan of anybody. He jumps around.
He jumps wherever the money's at.
Yeah, whoever's winning, he jumps on the bandwagon.
Whoever's got a raffle going on or a free T-shirt, he's over there.
I'm ready for the Reds season this year. I think things
they
are looking
say that
up.
now. They say that now.
We'll see in about 4 months.
I have a feeling Chris Antonio has been saying this for about 2 years now. Like, I'm ready for the Red season.
No. We wanted a coach. We finally got a coach at least.
I've been wanting to get rid of David Bell for a couple
piece
years.
Of shit.
How do you really feel?
Yeah, really.
I hope Terry Francona has a heart attack.
Hey, question. Since we're kind of at the end of the show, we should give at least a couple of tips of what we might talk about tomorrow. I think there's a really good headline out there talking about Aaron Glenn offers a vague answer on the future of Aaron Rodgers. I think that might be a nice one to talk about maybe on tomorrow's show. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I'm cool with that. That's a good one.
Yeah, let's just continue to talk about Aaron Rodgers because he's so worthy of being talked about. That's
save it for tomorrow.
Sorry sack of shit.
Save it for tomorrow.
I think we should do some ayahuasca while we talk about Aaron Rodgers.
I think we should
darkness retreat.
I think what we should talk about is why Trump still hasn't deported these.
No, we are not talking about that.
I'm just saying.
No,
I say we do tomorrow's show. We're
gonna start this show off with that.
Nope. If you want to rewatch his WrestleMania match, you can do that, but that is it involving that. Okay.
We have a big show. We have a big show tonight at 6:30.
There you go.
Coming up.
We have 5?
Yes.
Yeah, 5 different pro wrestlers are going to be on tonight. Brody Bodkins and Handsome Hank Calhoun are going to be on to talk about their big gusset plate match at WCW Unrated on next Friday night, and then we'll have
this Friday night.
This Friday night. My bad. Then we have Mike Noble and Zach Nova talk about their championship pre-show match, a match that was announced live on our show last week. And then we have Loud and Proud Logan Myers will be on for the rapid fire segment, and he's actually going to be wrestling Chavo Guerrero this Friday night. So we'll talk all about that and a lot of other things. So join us tonight around 6:30.
All right, sounds good. Frankie, you got anything coming up, or just hanging out?
I'm just hanging out. I'm ready. I'm waiting for the Royal Rumble, man. We're literally like less than 6, maybe 5 days away. So expect a really good Monday Night Raw tonight on Netflix, since it's the last Raw before Royal Rumble. Don't forget NXT tomorrow and Friday Night SmackDown, which Chris and Logan and Tony, if y'all haven't noticed, they haven't been putting live on SmackDown the last couple of weeks or close to a month. So I don't think SmackDown's live anymore. But it's still been good. I can't wait for Royal Rumble, man.
Did you watch Saturday night's main event?
I did.
Yeah,
I thought it was a waste of time, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I like the matches. I like the match. I just feel like it's a waste of time.
They can't recapture what they had before.
They won't. They're trying at least. Like, they're making it look cool. You know what I mean? But
they're doing a lot of championship matches. But I mean, back in the day, you had Hogan, who didn't wrestle on normal TV, on regular TV hardly at all, and so he wrestled on the Saturday night's main events. Now you got so much wrestling on TV. It don't feel special.
No.
Yep.
Like if they're gonna do that, they might as well make Saturday night main event for those who don't get time on TV for Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or something like that. I mean,
no. Just to give those guys more love.
Wrestling really is a male soap opera, because when I listen to you guys talk about it, I have vague remembers of my aunts and my mother talking about like Young and the Restless and General Hospital. It's almost the same thing. It's just
I mean, Jay, there was literally custody for a child in a ladder match. So I mean, yeah, you can't get much more soap opera than that. And that little boy went on to become one of the most hated people in the WWE today.
He bagged 2 bad girls too, 2 bad bitches. Hey, my man Dominic. Hey.
All right,
that's Puppy Jr. right there, Puppy Jr.
And with that, we'll wrap it up. Once again, appreciate all the support and all the comments today from Dustin, Mickey, of course, Frankie chiming in the background, and of course Jay's favorite 13 seconds, who is just waiting for that massage, Jay. So you can DM him after the show. But for Fox, for
Jay.
Yeah, for Jay McLaughlin, and of course for Tony and Chris Gonzalez, I've been your host and producer, Logan Landers. Guys, we'll see you again tomorrow, 2:00 Eastern.